Hello, 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 everybody. I hope you guys can hear me. Hi, Jenny, you're on. Can you please let me know you and Kingsbury Craft are on? Let me put my glasses on, child. I can't see nothing. I tell you about these cataract things too. But anyway, hi everybody. This is Shirley with Shirley's Thread Work, and tonight is Shirley's Wind Down Tuesday, and I do have my glass of wine that I really, really needed for tonight because I tell you it has been a night. So can you guys please let me know if you can hear me? That's the first thing I need to know because I'm on my old computer now using my webcam, and I'll tell you all about that. So my first concern right now is, can you hear me? Please put a yes or no, because I'm talking. If you can't hear me, I know you're going to say I can't hear you. So please let me know if everything is going fine as far as the volume is concerned, because that's the first thing I want to do. So I'm waiting to see if anybody is going to put in here, I can hear and see you. Okay, perfect. All good. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it because, like I said, I'm on my own old computer. Well, it's still a really, really good computer. I just wanted a bigger screen, so I got a bigger, like a 24-inch monitor. Excuse me. But tonight, if we are lucky, I want to show you guys online as we talk information, sharing my screen where I actually show you Embrilliance. If I can't, then um, I'm not going to be happy about it. But I have to tell you, today has been a rough day for me because I've been spending the entire day trying to get this to work, get my monitor to work. I tried to hook up the two computers, that didn't work. Now I have my upgraded, high speed, expensive internet connected to my first lap to my laptop, and I'm hoping that is going to stream well. So I got a whole lot of things on my plate, but like I said, right now, my main concern is, hopefully I see that you hear me, you see me, so that's great. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. And then the next challenge I have will be trying to do the share screen situation and be able to show you what I want to show you tonight. If I can't do that, unfortunately, I'll have to tell you, but it'll work so much better if I can actually show you. So I did get my second screen up and it's ready to go. It's going to be a little awkward but anyway, it's a little awkward, but I'm going to do my best. So I have Jenny in here. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Soul Pearl Creation, Robin, Latonya, uh, uh, My Limit Design, and who else that I have in here? And somebody said that they were new. Carla. Let me see. Kingsbury Craft is in here as well. So Kingsbury, Jenny, Soul Pearl Creation, Robin, and Carla. There you are. Carla, first timer. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And um, so we got a few people watching. We got a few people that's actually in here waiting, um, and commenting and everything. So thank you so much. So again, this is Shirley's Thread Work. I'm Shirley. This is Wind Down Tuesday. I want to give a shout out to everybody that is watching on YouTube and Facebook, and also a shout out to everybody that will be watching the replay because I do appreciate it. I hope I get a lot of people that are unfortunately not able to come into the chat, but they do watch the replay. Or I have people that sit on the sideline and watch it while they cook and clean and relax or whatever else that you may be doing, but you don't come into the chat. But, you are welcome and encouraged to come into the chat at any time. We encourage anybody that is new to the group to please come in, participate, ask questions, make comments, whatever it is that you want to know that I'm able to answer, I will. And if I can't answer it, usually somebody that's in the chat can, and you're more than welcome to hop in. Hi, Carol. How are you as well? So, tonight I'm going to do the best that I can to tell you a little bit about Embrilliance and what I know. And the topic is, let's talk about Embrilliance and why I love this software. And I just have to tell you right off the bat, I am not an affiliate of Embrilliance. I don't make a dime off of Embrilliance, nothing like that. So I'm not promoting it to get any benefit from it, nor am I trying to convince people to buy it or anything. Mostly people, there's a lot of people that use Embrilliance or they're considering using it. And if you don't know what Embrilliance is, it is a editing it's an embroidery software that does design editing and font editing, and as well as digitizing. And it comes in a module based format, which is very, very good because you can buy what you need, and what you don't need, you don't have to buy. And that's what makes it affordable. And that's how I got involved in it. I started using Embrilliance and I've not used any other software since, and that's been about 5 years now. However, I do have several different softwares that I am piddling around with trying to figure out how to learn to use them. But I use my Embrilliance 99.9% of the time. I'm familiar with it to do as much that I need to do, but I have to tell you, it reminds me so much of me talking about my PR 1055X brother multi-needle sewing machine, embroidery machine, because I keep telling people you need to learn your machine because it does so many things and so many features that we don't use. That's the same thing with Embrilliance. I was watching several different people this week uh, talk about Embrilliance and the things that they do with it, and it kind of like, wow, this is pretty cool. There's things that you can do with Embrilliance that I'm not even familiar with that you can do. So I said it's a learning um, situation. But the good thing about it for me, and I feel that this is most people, it's intuitive. It is user friendly. It is easy to learn. And once you get started with it, you will realize how simple it is and that you're able to do a lot with it. Now, me, I am not a digitizer, and I probably will never be a digitizer. Um, but I do dip and dabble with my designs, and I do a lot of editing, and that is what the main thing that I do with Embrilliance. So I'm going to start off telling you, um, for those of you that may not know, Embrilliance comes in several modules. The very first module, if you're going to use it at all, should be essential. Embrilliance Essential, and it is exactly what it's the name. It is pretty much essential to use Embrilliance. Now you don't have to have it to use it. You can do the other modules first if you want to, but for me that doesn't make sense. I think you need to go in sequence, and the very first sequence should be uh, essential, and that's exactly what I did because it is the basic. Now, there is an Embrilliance Express module that is free for 30 days, I believe it is. You can't save to it, but you can use it, you can dabble, you can try it out, you can see if you like it, you can look at the icons, you can do all of that kind of stuff and figure out, it's like, okay, am I interested in this? Can I use it? And it's free. That's a good thing, especially if people are cost conscious and you don't want to spend money for something that you don't think you're going to like. And I know there are people out here that like and love and have been using a software called So What Pro, and it's extremely economical. It's less than $100. I don't have it. I've never used it. And I just wanted to throw that out because, like I said, I'm not an affiliate and I'm not trying to get people to spend a lot of money. So there is an editing software that's out there that's available that a lot of people use and a lot of people like it, and it's under $100. It's called So What Pro. But back to Essential. Essential, Embrilliance Essential, number one module costs around $140 if you catch it on sale. I think it's $139 now, and that's about the average price, which is pretty reasonable for editing software, especially when you look at everything that you can get out as far as usage with Embrilliance Essential. And I'm going to go over a comparison between that and Enthusiast. Enthusiast is the second module, and well, I said second, it was the second one for me. And if you were going to get involved in Embrilliance at all, my suggestion would be Essential first, Enthusiast second, and then make up your mind if you want to go any further. And if you're just doing editing, you probably don't need to go any further than those two. And Enthusiast costs around $180, give or take, and it runs on sale often as well. So there you have what, a whole suite for $300 plus, where you can do practically anything you want to do with um, design and font editing. So wanted to throw that out. So Pearl Creation, you said you're learning from the Express and you had it for beyond the 30 days and it's still working. Okay, that's good to know. Didn't know it would work past 30 days, but that's good to know. And how you doing, Jaws Mom 824? How are you? Thank you for stopping by. And you say you have Embrilliance and Essential. You have Embrilliance Essential and Enthusiast. And hi, Leslie and Deborah V21. Thank you for stopping by. Um, who else dropped in while I was talking? All the Best Marketing LLC. How are you? Catherine Stanley, how are you? And Latonia, who is Latonia? I don't, Latonia, okay. Limit Designs, okay. So I think I've spoken, and somebody named Carla just passed by. So I'm trying to say hi to everybody as you pop up. So if I miss you, I'll get to you before I get off, most likely. So yes, I bought. I went back and looked at my history, and I bought Enthused Essential right away. Started embroidering in 2020, and that was the first software I bought. And I think I had it a month or two, three maybe, and then I bought Enthusiast. And I didn't buy anything else for at least a year or two. I was able to do any and everything I wanted to do with those two without having to buy anything else. And it worked really, really well for me. And so I have bought more modules. I think the second module that I bought was Merrily, which is called Patch Artist now, because I wanted to do patches. And I know I spoke to you about that. And I'll tell you a little bit how that works. And oh, yeah, I bought thumbnails. I bought thumbnails right around the same time I bought um, Essential, which puts the icons up on your desktop, or you're able to see the design. So it helps you to be able to find your design. So Thumbnailer is a really good software, and I think it costs around $39. So as you can see, they're very economical. They're not that expensive to get. So Essential, Enthusiast, Thumbnails. Those are the ones that I would recommend that you get. And like I said, is right around 350, 340, give or take with your tax and everything. You're going to be, you got to add taxes on, and everything is downloadable. Also, which is really, really good, it is Mac compatible. You don't have a lot of embroidery, editing, or digitizing software out there that is Mac compatible. So if you use an Apple or Mac, then this is something that you might be interested in getting because it is Mac compatible. The other thing that is really great is you can download it multiple times and you can put it on every computer that you own. Once you pay for it, um, the serial number is sent to you. You download it, put the serial number in, and there it is. Going forward, when you purchase it, you just get the serial number, you put it in, and bam, there it is. You can install it and everything. So you could just keep adding and adding and adding as you see fit, if that is something you want to do. If not, you just use the three that I mentioned. Um, but like I said, I have essential, thumbnailer, enthusiast, patch artist, and I just added, which I said I wasn't going to do, but I got it at a good price from Anne de Grand, and Stitch Artist 1 and 2. So I do have Stitch Artist 1 and 2. Don't ask me anything about it because I've opened it up, I've looked at it, I pushed a few of the icons, but I don't know how to use it. I've been looking at different videos and stuff to figure out how to use it. But what I do know, it's pretty simple and it's a lot that you can do. And that's what I like about it. It's just, it just makes you more um, creative, I guess is the best word for it, creative. So let me tell you, before I'm going to put the software up and I'm going to actually go through it, but I am going to tell you um, a little bit about it. And what I also want to tell you is about the BX font. That's the other thing that makes Embrilliance stand out over and above some of the other software. It allows you to use the BX font. What is BX font? They are fonts that has the BX extension on it, and only Embrilliance provides that. You can buy it from Embrilliance, or you can get uh, fonts from whomever you get fonts from that uses that extension. Oftentimes, if you buy, like Stitchtopia is a perfect example, they have fonts that you can get with all the different embroidery machine formats, including BX. So when I go online and I buy a uh, font from anybody, the first thing I do is check and see if they have it in BX. If I like the font, do they have it in a BX format? And if they do, then I'll purchase it. If they don't, I don't. Not anymore. Because you can just type it in. You don't have to pull in each letter one by one by one by one like you do with regular um, fonts that you buy that are not BX. With BX, you click on the little needle, it loads into your software, you use it, and and I'll show you in a minute, when you're ready to put a name on it or a phrase or whatever, you just type it in like you type in regular, and hit enter, and bam, there it is. You don't have to pull anything in. It's a line, all of that. And that is because it is a BX font. So that is another good reason for having Embrilliance. So I'm going to talk about Embrilliance and show you, and I'm going to go through it icon by icon for essential and enthusiasts. And just want to tell you a little bit. Let me get to my uh, pages correctly before I actually pull it up. And like I said, I'm hoping this is going to work because I'm doing a share screen, doing a share screen. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Okay, there we are. Can you guys see this well enough to see where I'm putting my little hand? Because I'm going to have to go over to my share screen and manipulate things and everything, and hopefully it'll work. But can you see that? Hopefully you can. And while you're answering that question, I'm going to read some of these comments here so I can keep up. And did I say hi to Val? I know I did to Leslie. And hi, Miss Joy. How are you doing? Hello, hello, beautiful lady and family in the chat. Hope you're having a blessed day. And you did your hand wave. And Latonya, you said, I have essential in considering stitch artists too. Is it really necessary to get enthusiasts? Now, you say you have thumbnail as well. And hi, Marissa, how are you? Marissa Crafts. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Okay. So, Robin, you say yes, you can see it. Jenny, you say yes, you can see it. Now, the question was, is it necessary to get enthusiasts? Now, I have to tell you, I don't know. Probably, okay, the best answer would be before you skip over and purchase Stitch Artist 2, check and see what all you get with Stitch Artist 2. Make sure you're going to look at Enthusiast and see what comes with it, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. Check and see what comes with Enthusiast, and then check and see what is included with Stitch Artist. That's the best thing I can tell you right now. If you get some of the same things or some of the same things that come with Enthusiast included with Stitch Artist 2, then of course you don't need to do that. But you need to check and make sure, because I can't answer that question because I bought Essential, then Enthusiast, and then eventually Stitch Artist 1 and 2. So I already had stuff, so I can't tell you whether or not it's included. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer for that. And Miss Joy, you said, I have Embrilliance also, and I love it. Thumbnailer works on all the programs on my computer. That is true, not just Embrilliant. Face blue, wide eye, yep. And then you said, to me, the best answer is it depends on what you're trying to do and make on which module you get. Correct. That's the most important thing. What is it that you want to use the software for? That's for any software that you get, whether it be Embrilliance or Floriani, Hatch, Embroidery Legacy by John Deere, any of those. What do you plan to do with it? Hi, Carol. And you say you got your new computer and will have to get my Embrilliance platform in it. I have all my serial numbers and very few fonts, so I hope it will be easy. It was easy for me because I just put Embrilliance on my other computer, my desktop computer today. I didn't put it on until today, trying to prepare for tonight, hoping to have been able to do the share screen and all of that, and it didn't work. So I had to go back to my old computer where it is already. However, I have not added fonts or checked on fonts or any of that kind of stuff. You're going to get the regular fonts, of course, that comes with Embrilliance. But as far as the new ones that you purchase over time, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to install those as well on your new computer. But just as Carol was saying, all you have to do is have your serial numbers. And if for some reason you can't find it, it is in help. You go up into help and let me see. If you see where my mouse is, I'm moving the mouse around right now. That is help. If you click on help, it flies out, and please let me know if you can see it. Then it says serial numbers right there. So you can get your serial numbers under help, and there it is. Then also you can check for updates. Check to see if everything is updated as well. So that's where you get your serial numbers for all the things that you purchase. And that's how you're able to upload it or install it or make it usable on a different computer. I don't know how that works on Mac because I don't have a Mac, but that's how it works on your regular PC. And Miss Joy said, don't forget to go back to the website and download all the updates. The other thing that I want to bring up, since you mentioned that, Miss Joy, about the website, if you go onto Embrilliance website, there is, and I don't know if I can do this. I'm not going to try it because I probably have a complete boo-boo trying to add it. But if you go onto Embrilliance website, go up into the top toolbar, go over to your right, and click on your search. It's a search bar, and type in the word library and hit enter. You will go to all of the information that they have presented through their newsletter. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. You'll get that periodically. You can get a bunch of free embroidery designs. They put something out, I believe, every month at least. And it's a lot of them. And a lot of them are really, really good. They got Christmas designs and um, St. Patrick's design, Halloween designs. They have all kinds of stuff. The other thing is to go into envelope, which I'll show you tonight as well, and click on that to make sure you have all of your envelopes downloaded as well. And I'll show you what I mean about that as well. Let me go in. So now I am in Embrilliance, and um, basic instructions. Launch it. Go to your screen. Your design page is going to be white, and there's a toolbar at the top. My cursor is going around the tool, going all the way across your toolbar. You have your file, your edit, your utility, your view, your zoom, your window, your help. And those are very important. If you click on file, you'll see you have what they call a flyout, and you'll have new page, open, close, save your stitching working, save as stitching working. You have your merge, your save working file as, all of those. You have print preview, and print setup. And then you also have a bunch, all of the things that you most recently opened up um, as well. Let me click on one. Okay, this is a design that I've done, and as you can see, I clicked on it um, down here, and it popped back up, and it also popped up on the correct hoop size because that's the hoop size that I had, embossed and regular. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on print. Well, before I do that, make sure everything is selected. So hopefully you can see your little dots going all the way around. Your bounding box, that means it is selected. So once you hit it's selected, you can go into print preview, and it should show up. There you go. Print preview. So this you can print out. You see the little snowman in the middle, and you can use this to center this. And then the other page will be your colors if this is how you want it. So I use this a lot. I use my print preview a lot. That's just In case you didn't know, that's a feature that you can use in Embrilliance, and it's under File. You go under Edit, and you can select all. That gives you the bounding box. You can select by color, and that will be over here in your primary, where my look and see where my cursor is moving. This is in your property box over here. And cut, copy, paste, delete, undo, group, ungroup, all of those things are here. And that's in your editing. Now, I wanted to go into utility, and I know I'm jumping a little ahead because I wanted to show you what's in your utility. Utility is one of the things that I use a lot. You can center your design in the hoop. That's just one place you could do it. You can align it and distribute it. You can color sort, which is very important, especially for a design like what I have here. If you color sort, um, it will sort out all the colors in one color that will stitch first, and then the next and the next and the next. I use that a lot. You can base a design. I hit the base. You see the basing box around here. I talk about that a lot when you're using fabric like knit fabric, satin fabric, organza fabric, minky, I mean, any of those kinds of slippery fabrics that move around a lot. You can use your binding box or your basting box where you can stitch that on there, and it helps you keep it still. Your advisory, your project advisory, I mentioned that too, um, a lot. This is the box that tells you, please select a project fabric and type, and it gives you a recommendation. What popped up, hopefully you can see that, is the fabric is canvas, and you can modify the setting, but the fabric is thick, is the fabric thickness is heavy, and the stretch is none. So the recommendation would be a jean needle size 14, 35 weight thread, and a tearaway backing. This is your project advisor. I know I've mentioned this several times to you guys about the things that you can do in Embrilliance as far as knowing how to um, stitch your project and make sure it comes out. We talked about that, I believe, last week or week before last, about how to make sure you're going to have a perfect stitch out. This project advisory in your Embrilliance software is exactly what I was talking about. That are the Embrilliance, I'm not the Embrilliance, the embroidery compass that you can get uh, from Dime, or you can buy it off of Etsy. It costs around 20 bucks. But you see, it said canvas, denim, twill, duck cloth, and many so-called pack cloths fit into this category. These are generally easy to embroider and don't require a lot of stabilizer because the fabric themselves are fairly stable. Be aware, however, that many denims are now getting a little bit of lycra added for stretch. So then it kind of turns more into a knit. But that is what I pointed out. So let's go to fleece. Now, did you see it change? Fleece, heavy, and fabric stretch is a lot. So they suggest you get a size 11 or 12 needle, 35 weight thread or 40. Water soluble topping and backing, you either get self-adhesive tearaway or water-soluble self-adhesive. And then it talks about all the different things about fleece and the hooping suggestion: tightly hoop the back and then baste the fabric, and the fabric and the topping to it. So as you can see, this is quite um, usable. It is very, very good. Now, they even have metal and wood in here. Now, I've never embroidered on metal, but I have on wood. Remember, I told you I did wood before. And let me see if I can move this out the way. Well, nope. Anyway, um, they tell you a size 16 needle, but they don't give you any thread. And they said the fabric is thick. The fabric thickness is heavy and not stretched. Metal work or copper punch is neat if you have a designs digitized for it. Remember that every stitch will leave a hole. So it tells you how to embroider on metal. Didn't know you can embroider on metal. I did know you can embroider on wood. So that's under utility. The other thing that I wanted to point out is knockdown. Now, these are um, features that I know for a fact are in enthusiasts. So that goes back to you, Joy, Miss Joy, about whether or not you should get stitch artists too and not get enthusiasts. I know that these are features that are in enthusiasts. Check and see if it's in Stitch Artist 1 and 2. I can't answer that question because I've had it. I do have 1 and 2 now, so I can't, so I got it, when I got that. I don't know. I've always had it. But add a knockdown stitch. You can put the parameters in here. If you want to put it in here and change it, you can. If you're not, you can go with the default, hit OK, and it is going to, there you go. I don't know if you can see it good enough. Let me take the base uh, off of here. So, okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the knockdown on here. Let's make it a little. Okay, can you guys see the knockdown stitch back here? Now that's what you use in place of using water soluble stabilize. You can add knockdown stitches. That is the stitches that are laid down. It's an underlay that is stitched down prior to stitching the main design. And that knocks down the fabric so it's flat. Then you can put your main design on and you don't have to worry about the fabric or the stitches sinking down into your minky or your fleece or your towels, anything like that. So that is something I know comes with enthusiasts and I love it. I use it a lot. Where up here you see Wi-Fi to brother and baby lock, that's where you can send your design to your brother or your baby lock embroidery machine. I've not used that feature either, but I know you can do it. I know people that have. And so you also have, I don't know if this is going to work for this particular design. Let me see. Instant repeat. Probably not for this design. Let me get a whole new design. I'm not going to save anything. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to go up here and put a design down. And I'll tell you about this design. Um, Let me put this one on here just for the fun of it. Okay, a musical note. So it is selected. You see the dots going all the way around. I go back into utility and it says instant repeat. So how many of these do I want across? I'm going to say 4. How many of these do I want down? I'm going to say 4. Look what just happened. See what just happened? I have 4 across and 4 down. Instantly, you can do mirror. Um, Let me see how that will work. You can mirror it. And then what's the other thing? Carousel. Carousel, I'm just making a mess out of it right now, but you see how you can do a carousel? I did a video on using the carousel method to make a snow flake, and I think I have that design in here. I might be able to pull that up that I did. So these are some of the things that you can do with in your utility, and then scatter. Let me see. Hmm, well, nothing. These are loose. You can move them all the way around. But it's just so many things that you can do in your utility. And like I said, all of these came with enthusiasts. So again, Joy, I'm not quite sure about whether or not you get it. I think you do. So all the best marketing, a lot of times the software serial number that you have to put in when the software prompts you is usually available for one-time use for one license. Carol, but no harm to trying to see. Well, let me correct, well, not correct you, but I'm just going to tell you that's not necessarily true with Embrilliance. You can use it again because, like I said, I put it on my computer um, today. Same serial number, same serial number, did not have to change anything. And I went on to the Embrilliance website before I loaded it up to my other computer and asked the question about how do you put it on another computer, because I knew you could, and it says you can, no issues. You just go in there and download the Embrilliance Essential to your new computer, and then once it's installed you go into help and pull up all of your serial numbers, and once you pull up all your serial numbers you put that into your place that tells you on the new computer, and then your other softwares that you purchase are automatically available to you. I did that today, so I know for a fact that's how it's done. So let me close that out. Not keeping that, and I'll just put a new blank one up here. Um, Hi, Lena. How are you? And you were saying if it works, it keeps people from using software in multiple computers and keeps the software companies able to sell it. Well, I don't know how they keep you from putting it on somebody else's software. I mean, computer, unless because I think you have to. I don't know. I'm not even going to go there because, like I said, this is it's not the first time that I've added it. I've had other computers before. Matter of fact, this is like the fourth computer since I've been using Embrilliance, and I've been able to put them on every computer that I had, and without any issues, and without paying more money. So that's the other thing to keep in mind and remember. It does work. And hi, Sharon Davenport. You see, you have it on three different computers right now, so it does work. And hi, Faker McFay. So it does work. So that's not an issue that you guys have to worry about Embrilliance. You could. And Miss Joy, could you show how to stitch out? What do you want me to stitch out? You want me to get on my computer, on my machine, and actually do some work? Is that what you want me to do? I can do that, but keep in mind, as far as my camera limitation is. I can only use one camera at a time. So let's move on with this. And if there is time, I might do a stitch out, or I might just do that on another one. And I do have many videos out there where I'm actually making things and stitching things out. So if you're looking for something to see. So we talked about how to open everything and went through some of the icons. You have your view. This is another thing that a lot of people have an issue with. My bar disappeared on me, and I don't know what to do. I don't know where it is. Let me see if I can get rid of stuff. As you can see, everything is blank. It's just blank. And oh my goodness, what happened? I don't have anything on here and I don't know what to do. I can't get my hoop to show up. All of that, all of that. So back up here under view, all you have to do is go in all the way to the top where it says toolbars and windows and reset your toolbar. Everything comes back. Reset your toolbar and go in here and click on everything. You got your grids, and the grids with this slider over here. Pay attention to my pointer here. Your grids go little bitty all the way to different, to 1 to 2 inches to 4, all of that. I usually keep mine at the 1 inch. That's how I usually keep it. Um, the hoop. So when I get my hoop and this icon here, where my pointer is moving around, that's the icon for your hoop. And you can pick your hoops and you can name your hoops. I don't know if you can see it right now. I have my 3x4 Durkee fast frame in here. I put this in here. My 5.5 by 5.5 mighty hoop is in here. My 8x9 mighty hoop. I have my Durkee fast frame, my mighty hoop 8x13, my mighty hoop jumbo 14 by 14. These are the hoops that I put in. The rest of the hoops came with the software, but the ones that I have and own and use, those are the ones that you can put in. You see right here where it says new, where my pointer is. If you click on that, open it up, new hoop. You can write in, type in whatever the name of the hoop, whatever you want to call it. You need to put the size in there. So be sure you know the size, whether you go by inches or millimeters. I'm an inch person, so I always put the inches in there. And you click OK, and you got your new ones in there. You can go in there and edit it. Like here, I have Mighty Hoop 8x13 and the width is 203, the height is 330 millimeters, but I have it by 8x13, so I know what I'm doing. The other thing that you can do, they have a default. You can set everything back to default. Now, let me choose a hoop. See, here's a hoop right here. I'm going to go back in there, and you see it is horizontal. I can rotate it vertical if you need to. You hit where it says rotate 90 degrees right here. You check that. You hit apply, hit OK, and voila, there you go. Instead of it being horizontal, it is now vertical. So that's very useful as well. But always remember, this is where your hoops are. So I have a list, and I'm gonna go down this list so everybody will know it. The what each icon is for, because I know I learn by remembering my icons and what they do. That's how I learn how to use it. So I'm gonna take this off and put my 5x5 up because it is the smallest, and this is your slider over here. You can make big or small, in or out, or you can use your scroll button on your mouse. So I showed you open, and it opens an existing embroidery file. So you got file, you got your new page just popped up, and you have open. So you pull up, let me see, all embroidery files. These are letters that I have. Let me see what else I have I can open up. I know I got some stuff in here. Um, okay, perfect. This is absolutely perfect. This is the what I was telling you about as far as the carousel is concerned that I did. I don't know if you noticed this, but if you pay attention, this is my name, Shirley. Shirley, all the way around. Shirley. Shirley. I used my name and I made a carousel. You can see it pretty good here. Shirley. Can you guys see that? That this is my name all the way around and made a carousel. And Marissa, you say you need to put your Durkee hoops in. Yes, you do. And Carol, that new hoop feature is new to me, so much to learn with Embrilliance. Okay, good. I'm glad you're learning something. But yeah, you can put your hoops in there. I love the fact that you can put your hoops in there instead of trying to figure out which one you want to pull up and all of that kind of stuff. I love that fact. And Jaws' mom said, I think that you put your hoops in the software when Jeanette mentioned it on her show. And figure the box that has the hoop has a button to rotate the hoop. Yes, it does. And Jenny, you said that looks cool. I stitched it out too. I believe it. I did. But anyway, where were we? What were we talking? Okay, open, and then you can close. You can save, merge, and all of that kind of stuff that I mentioned. So you can zoom in and zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out, all of that. You can do it with the slider over here, or you can do it with the scroll button on your mouse. Also, so I don't have this locked. So you see it got all out of whack and everything. Now, did I mess up my design? No, I didn't, because you can come right up here, and if you see where my mouse is right here, this puts it back. Just click on it, click on it, click on it, click on it. Wait a minute. That ain't it. That's not the one. Where is. No, those are the rotators. Um, where is the one that puts everything back the way it was? Hmm. Undo. Where's my undo button? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my undo. Oh, here it is, right here. Undo. There's an undo icon, but let me hit it again. You got to hit it more than once because I messed around with it so much. Eventually, it'll get back where it was. Okay, there it is. It's back where it was. But where is my undo button? Rotate, rotate. I'll find it. It's an undo button up here. But anyway, if you ever mess up like I just did, don't think, oh my goodness, I messed up everything. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. It's always an undo. So don't panic. That's the main thing. Do not panic. As long as you have not saved anything, then you can go back and correct it. Now, your save icon is here. Save, stitch, and working. Now, I oftentimes get confused with that. Save and save as. Save your working file as a BX file, which is very important. It keeps all object data editable in your well, actually it is not BX file. That is your BE file. Your They put the wrong thing. That's AI for you. It is your BE file that will allow you to be able to go back. That's your save your working file in your BE. If you look down here where it says embroidery file, BE, everything that is saved in BE means you can go back and work on it. You save it in your format file when you're ready to print it, not print it out, but when you're ready to stitch it out, then you save it in your format, whatever format you have. Let me point one thing out with the format. If you go back into your program preferences, that's where your frames are. You have your hoops here, your display setting, and all of that, your mouse with all of that stuff. And it says auto recover. I've never used that before. I need to figure out what that is. Jumps and overlap. I got to learn how to use that because I tell you, uh, I can't stand these jump stitches. Remove overlaps when saving stitch files. I have that checked. Treat object label, applique, position as filled. Ensure that there's ties around your jumps. Run when jumps are small. Medium jump length. You can adjust your jump, but make sure that you know how to do that. I don't mess with a lot of this, but I wanted to point out the conversion. That's what I will do. Conversion. If you have a um, design that is not a format for your particular machine, my format for my machine being a brother is a PES or a DST. It will run a DST and it will run a PES. It will not run any other format. However, if I happen to have a design that is not a DST or a PES, I can upload it into or download it into my Embrilliance. I can go into my preference, program preference, and go here to conversion and change it from whatever other format that is listed in here to a PES, and then click OK, and it will change it to a PES, and you will be able to use it. Now, isn't that wonderful? I love that too, because I have had that to happen to me where I had to change something. So I just wanted to point that one out too. Um, where you got zoom, your different sizes for your zoom and fit to this one here that I have my arrow on is fit to hoop. Let me click it. This one is center. So I'm going to, oh, I keep forgetting this thing is not. Where is my undo? I need to lock it. I didn't lock it. Oh, it didn't lock it because I hadn't selected it. Let me select this whole thing. Okay. Everything got locked except for these two, and I don't know what I didn't do right, but I didn't lock everything. I guess it wasn't selected. But you can lock it so you can move it around. And I'm not saving any of this, so I'm not messing it up. As long as you don't save, you are okay and you can unlock. So I am going to unlock. And then I am going to undo. So everything is back like it's supposed to be. I don't know if you got a chance to see that, where it went back like it's supposed to be. And you see I put the binding box all the way around. So, but anyway, let me see. Select all. It never fails when you want to show somebody something that doesn't act right. So I'm hoping my computer isn't getting stuck. Okay, let me, you got your arrow to select your move tool, your rotate. This is your rotate button. I'm going to get another design because this one is getting on my nerves. Let me close this one out. No change, no saving. And I'm going to select a design and bring it down. Now you can resize. That's the other thing that I love. You need to grab a handle. Grab a handle. You can make it big, you can make it small, you can make it whatever size you want to make it. You can manipulate it. I do that all the time. I make my designs the size that I want it. Now, as you can see, it is not lined up correctly. It is not centered. This is your centering icon right here. Looks like a cross. You click on it and your design is going to center. You can make it fit the hoop. See how I made it fit the hoop? And then you have remove hidden stitches, which is really great. You can have your align and your distribution, especially wonderful when you're doing letterings and stuff like that. So it's so many things that you can do. Um, Let me go to the stitch simulator, but this I need more than one color. So I need another design, something that is multiple colors. New page. Go in here. See if I got anything in here. Yeah, let's get this checked. This needle right here is your stitch simulator. Now, what this is going to do is going to simulate how it looks, how your stitching is going to work. This is really important, especially if you are manipulating, adding, merging, deleting, all of those kinds of things, because you want to know how it's going to stitch, what it's going to look like, and even where you're going to make the positioning of your colors. All of that kind of stuff is very important. So you can you can speed it up or make it slow, and it's going to show you. See how it's drawing the stitching. You can make it faster if you want to, and it's just going to show you exactly how it's going to stitch each one until it changes colors. It's all of that. Now it's changing colors, so it's stitching all of that, and it's going to stitch, 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 and it's just going to show you exactly how this is going to stitch. You get a chance to see all the underlay. You get a chance to see everything that has been digitized for this particular design and how it's going to look and how it is going to stitch and what components are going to stitch when. That is something that I look at all the time, because if you don't, especially like I said, if you have a new design or if you're manipulating the design, if you're merging designs, if you're adding designs, if you're deleting stuff from it and everything, you want to see, did you mess this design up? Is it going to stitch correctly? Any of that stuff. Marissa, you said Let me see. Toolbar. I got everything. See, when I take that off, everything comes back. I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway. And Marissa, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a long, 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 long time. We miss you from our Wednesday night meetings. So let me see what else is important. You can measure. You got your measurements here. If you want to know how big something is going to be, you can do your 3D. That lets you know how everything is going to look. Um, this is another one that I use. Now, this is what is this called? This is your stitch. Use this tool to edit stitches. Now you said, what do I use this for? I don't do compensation and all of that. I don't do a lot of this. I haven't really learned how to manipulate with the satin and everything. What I use this particular one for is mostly when I am deleting something. If I want to take something off, you can use the freehand. What is it called? It's called the, come on back up, freehand select when dragging. That allows me to drag a circle around this ear if I want to get rid of this ear. Now see, I put that there, and if I hit delete, we don't have an ear. Ear went away. No ear. So if I wanted to stitch that like that with no ear, I can do that. If you hit the square, that's a rectangle. It's going to get everything in a rectangle. So if I wanted to take the feet off, so that's pretty good. Then I can hit delete. Now I left just a tiny bit on there because I didn't get it good enough. But that's just an idea of what you do. I don't do the split and stitches into a new design or anything like that. Cut the stitches and separate into two design. That's interesting. Let me see what that would look like. Not enough stitches are selected to split. Okay. So what do I have to select? Let me select half and then split. Did that work? I don't know because I've never done it before, so I don't know if that worked or not. Oh, well, look. Look over here at the object. You see over on this side over here? Over here on where I'm circling around with my mouse. You see it? You see the movement? I split it. Didn't know I could. Never done it before. But my chick just got split. That's funny. You can make those, you know how you make the split designs and put the wording in the middle and all that kind of stuff? You would have to move this around and probably move it first if you've ever done that. See what I just did? I put the top part first, the bottom part. You right click and you see move earlier, move later, move first, move last. That's how you can move things around in your um, object property box. I use that object property box as well a lot when I'm adding names. If I'm making something, a design is already made, and I wanted to add a name to it. But when you add a name, it's going to always go to the bottom because you have the entire design already digitized, already up there, and it's going to be at the bottom. But I don't want it at the bottom because I want it to stitch before I get to a certain spot. and complete the design, because sometimes the design has been put together and all of that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I have something that I can show you that I've done recently. Let me see. Uh, Close that out. No, not saving. So I'm going to go down here to, this is a design that I did, um, that I made. Let me see. Move that over. And it's a ruffled zipper bag. And I'm trying to see, I don't remember, but I had to put, I'm going to do the stitch simulator so you can see. Hopefully, you'll be able to see what I'm trying to say. Um, where I put the name in. Let's see how that goes. Hmm. Why isn't it not stitching? Maybe because this is an applique. I don't know. I don't know why it won't go on its own. That's crazy. That is crazy. Hmm. You see where I am stitching everything out, putting zippers in. All of these are uh, part of making the bag and all of that. Putting the zipper in, what have you, and then it was going to close up. But I didn't want it to close up before I actually put the name in. So as you can see, I did this part, and I do not know why this is not doing a simulation. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, had moved it over. So as you can see, it put that in, then it went back to finishing the bag. So you see how it went back to finishing the bag up and everything. I put that in. It wasn't something that was part of the design. Um, Let me show that again. There we go. All of that part. The top part is just simply the zipper part and all of that. Then I put in the name. I moved it in when I first added it on, of course, it was all the way at the bottom. Then I moved it to where I needed it to be so I could get it onto the fabric before I did the rest of the stitching and closing it up and all of that kind of stuff. So it would be in the place that I wanted it in. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And Faker McFake, you said which Embrilliance am I using? I'm talking about essential and enthusiast. I just bought Stitch Artist 1 and 2. I don't know how to use it yet, so none of the things that I'm showing you um, has anything to do with Stitch Artist 1 and 2, because I'm not doing anything with Stitch Artist 1 and 2. This is Embrilliance um, Enthusiast as well as Embrilliance Essential. Oh, who is this? Baker McFate said, I found out uh, I found out that too. Still laughing. I was laughing so hard when I found both ways yesterday. I was thinking for a whole year I've been trying to make design sideways. I guess you didn't know how to rotate the hoop. And Latanya said, "Can you please what's the difference and in how you save your files?" Faker on the bottom where the hoop size is on the bottom right, double click it and the hoop will rotate. Okay, somebody showed you that or told you that. I finally found out the rotating the hoop yesterday. Okay, back to save under files. Save working file as, merge stitch file, save stitch file as. If you save, and I think I did go over this, if you save a working file, it's going to come up with the BE. That is your working file. As long as it says working file, that means you are able to go back and manipulate the file. If you make something resizing, you're doing all those kinds of things, and but you're not done. You're not done yet. So you're just working with it. And you want to save your work. You want to save it in your working file. Whatever it says, as long as it says working file, and you get this BE for your format at the end. That means that you can open this file up again and start off where you left off at, and it is not a done deal. If you save it, um, if you go in here and you uh, save stitch file as, save stitch file as, um, you're going to get your save as whatever your ending is, whether it's a DTS, a EXP, a HUS, a JEF, any of these different machines. That's what these are for. These are the different machines: the Husqvarna, the Foth, the Vikings, the Genomes, the Berninas, all of that, all of these have their own different working, their own different extension files. Brother uses PES and Brother will read a DST. Either one of these brothers will read. If you save it in your format that you normally use to stitch on, then that is saved permanently. You cannot go back and manipulate it. It's a done deal. You can't go back and manipulate it. So it is highly recommended that if you want to keep working on a file, that you do the BE. Now you can do the BE, and then you can do the format that you're going to do it in. But what I do, if I say, for instance, I save this in Shirley's bag dot BE, that's my working file. But I want to go ahead and stitch this out as it is because I like the way it is, but I saved it as Shirley's bag BE because I might want to go back and make this exact same bag, but change the name from Shirley to Mary, Betty, Boo, whatever. But I don't want to have to do the whole thing. I just want to change the name on it, one little thing. So you save it under BE. So that means you can go back, pull that very same design up, tweak it, make some changes, whatever, new name, whatever you want to do, and move on. But if I want to go ahead and stitch it out, Shirley's bag as it is, and I save it in PES, I'll say just me. I'll save it Shirley's bag 1 or Shirley's bag 2 or something. Change that name just one letter. You can do Shirley bag A, Shirley bag B, whatever. That's how I do it. That way I know I have two separate files. I have one that I'm done with, not going to change it ever again in life. That's it. I'm going to stitch it. And then the other one, I may change it because I want to change the name on it. I want to change something on it, not necessarily the color, because you can just change the color with your thread on the machine. But I want to change it in some kind of way. I want to add a design to it. I want to merge something on. I want to put a little heart on it, a star or something on it. I want to, Shirley's bag with a star on it or something. I'll do it that way. So that's the reason why you would save it as a BE. So you just want to remember that the BE means working file. That means I'm not done with it. And the PES or DST or the DIP or whatever else that's there means I'm done with it. And I'm not going to change this particular design anymore. I'm done with it. I hope that helped. Did that make sense to you, Latanya? Hopefully it did. Because that's the best that I know how to explain it. Okay, so I did mention saving. Okay, great. Thank you. I just want to make sure that I answered that question for you. Let me see what else I want to show you on here that I do a lot. Okay, let's go up in here into merge. I wanted to show you this. Now, these are, if you see right here where I'm twirling my mouse around, it says catalog Embrilliance. What does that mean? That means all of this stuff that I'm going to show you came from Embrilliance free. Some of it came with the software, and some of it I download through the library. But all of it came with Embrilliance. So this right here is the alignment. I've never used it, but the whole purpose of this is to help you to align pictures and stuff. You got your horizontal, your vertical, your plus, if you're going to do quadrant, your circle. It, I really don't, I haven't used it, so I can't really talk on it. Then you have your applique frames. These are already ready to make appliques out of. You can turn an applique into a patch, but these are they're going to have your tack down, your positioning, and all of that built into the design. So these all again came from Embrilliance. Here's another set of applique shapes. Now I have to tell you, I have used these shapes. I've used the butterfly and I've used the heart several times, and I just deleted the applique part, the positioning part, the tack down part, and just used the satin stitching part and just used it as a merged design. I've done that. These are shields that you can, you know, put a design in. I guess I really need to get rid of that and start a new one, new page, and put that up there. Okay, there we go. Now I can put a letter. That's what the A is. You can put this in here, and you can. I keep doing that. You gotta have, if you don't want it to move around, you need to have the whole thing, all of that. Now I can move it all over the place. If you don't have the uh, binding box going all the way around, then you'll be moving one letter at a time. If you see the green, that means you can manipulate this letter. You move it up, you move it down, sideways. You can make it bigger, smaller, all of that. You can put it closer. You can put it further apart, all of that. I'll show you some more stuff with that you can do with letters. Because I do a lot of stuff with my letters as well. I'm just gonna hit delete and get that out. Get that out of there. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong keyboard. This way it wouldn't go anywhere. I'm instead hitting the wrong keyboard. That's funny. Okay, so what else in merge? So you got these, and you got these pretty little frames too. These are really, really cute. You have your motifs. I've used the motifs quite a bit and different things that I've done. You have your novelty shapes, and you can put letterings and stuff in here, and then you have more shields. All of that stuff came with Embrilliance. And here are the Christmas. I don't know if I don't know if this came. I think this is just something that I downloaded that they had available. This is a really cute bow that you can use. That's your Christmas, and these are free. I didn't buy them. Halloween. These are different ones that I know. These came with the newsletter, and then Valentine is only one. Now I skipped over envelopes. Here are your envelopes. What are envelopes? Um, Let me get rid of this one. Okay. This, you see the thick line out here, and then you see the little thin line inside. The little thin line inside is called the envelope, where you can actually stitch a letter inside. And you can, manipulate the size if you want to. You can center it however you want it. And let me go ahead and what do I want to put on here? I'll just do my name, and it fits in there. It will fit inside the envelope. It's supposed to fit. It's supposed to fill out the envelope. It's supposed to fill out the envelope. I don't know why I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't do that. It's supposed to fill out the envelope. So let me delete that. Well, that's not working for some reason. I don't know why that's not working. Anybody can help me if you already know, because I'm trying to remember. Because that's why they call them envelopes. They're supposed to fill out this whole. Um, when you drop something in there, it's supposed to fill it all the way out. And I can't for the life of me figure out why that's not happening. Why that's not happening, because that's what it's supposed to do. So I'll have to revisit that and look it up. But this little thin line inside of here is the envelope, and your letter goes in there. That is so weird. Hmm. That is so weird. Hmm. Oh well, I can't get that to work for some reason. For some reason, it is not working. Okay, anybody used the envelope? Pearl, you said you should have paid me. Uh, I should have paid you to teach me the software instead of buying the course I bought because you are detailed. Well, thank you. I'm still learning. I use it myself, and I how I learn. I'll be perfectly honest about it. I will look to see if somebody has a tutorial or something, if it's something specific that I'm trying to figure out. Other than that, I will just hit buttons and play around with it and figure it out. That's how I've always learned how to do most things. And I promise you, I've done this envelope before, and why it is not working tonight, only because it wants to, um, you know how kids show out in public. That's the only explanation I can come up with. The reason why it is not working, because it should be working, and it's not, and I'm quite disappointed about that because it should be working, and I don't know why it's not. But anyway, you get the idea of what it's supposed to do, but for some reason that isn't working. Now, Merrily is the first uh, patch software. They're the exact same thing. The only difference is the patch artist is an upgrade from Merrily. I bought Merrily first. It's pretty much the same thing, but I love patch artists. And I'm going to show you something. Hopefully, it won't act a fool because, like I said, they will embarrass you. I am going to. I am going to do my name. Oh, that's. I'm sitting next to two computers and I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused. Okay. And I'm going to select a font. Let's do this font. Okay. Oh my. Why is that all yucky looking? That's, oh, something on here. That's why. There we go. Let me put this in the center. Okay. Here we go. Look like it's all stretched out. Okay, so now I'm going into utilities because I have patch artists. And here it says, now this is not enthusiast and it's not essential. This is another module that I have. It's their patch artist module, and I love it. You can do a rectangular patch. Let me take that out. You can do a circle patch. And my favorite, take that out. My favorite is the wrap around. Now I love that. Most of the patches that I make are like that. Now that's a patch. I don't have to do anything else. You're going to have your applique positioning, your top stitch, and your satin. And your right here it says patch, 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 letter, heart, letters. So you have all the different components that you need to make a patch. You use your twill. That's what I use, twill fabric. I use patch. Mm, mm, mm. It's a patch plastic that I got from Madeira, and I can't think of the name of it right now. But it's a plastic that is specifically for patches, and it will adhere. Now, I do know somebody, well, several people have mentioned using regular sheeting plastic. Has anybody heard that? Has anybody tried that? I've not, like you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or someplace and just buy a roll of that plastic that you lay down on top of things to protect it or what have you. People are buying that and using it like a stabilizer, and they're doing patches and other different um, projects where they want a clean edge, and so they just kind of punch it out and the edge is clean because it's plastic. I've never tried that before. Matter of fact, I just heard about that this week looking at various videos. So if anybody out there knows anything about that or they've tried it, let me know because I'm a little leery about it. I don't like using um, stuff that's not specifically designed and made for embroidery because I don't want to mess up my machine. But I did hear that that is something that people are using. Hey, Sean, how are you doing? Girl, you know I was supposed to call you and I haven't done it yet. And trust, I haven't forgotten. I just been busy. I just been busy. I'm so sorry. But I was supposed to call you and I will because I do have something to ask you, something I need from you. Anyway, so Pearl Creating said, I've seen it done on other channels. Yes, I have too. I've never done it. Sean, have you? You just popped in, so I don't know if you have heard the question, but I'm I know you know a whole lot and you do a whole lot and you know have a lot of experience. So I'm asking you. I heard about people using plastic sheeting, stuff that you get from Lowe's and Home Depot and different places that you cover things up that you're trying to catch the dust or what have you. And they're using them for stabilizers, especially for making patches and other items that they don't want. They want the edges to be clean. Have you heard about that? Have you used it? And what is your opinion? Because I've heard about it. I've never done it before. And me personally, I'm a little leery about it because I don't like using anything that, like I mentioned, that's specifically made for embroidery. And I know people use things because they're trying to save money, but trying to save money isn't always the best way because you might end up spending more money if you have an issue. So I don't know. But anyway, if you have an opinion on there or experience or whatever, can you please share? But this is my patchwork software, and I love making patches like that. And the other thing that I mentioned, let me see if I can find anything. I'm gonna put a new page on here, and I'm gonna go in here in what do they call this? Um, This is called the merge stitch file, and this one is called merge design. Merge design from your library, and this is the merge stitch file, which is not necessarily your library, but it is a library, and it does have some um, embroidery designs in it. So let me see if I can pull something up. Mm, okay, here are I'll use this. It's not what I wanted. I know I got some more. Here we go. Okay, let's go. Let's go with this one. Okay, this is pretty cool. What Now I'm trying to remember what point was I trying to make while I'm looking for this design. It was oh, I know what I was going to do. The size. Let's see. What is the size? The size. This is a small design. So I wanted something big. That's what I wanted. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for something big because I wanted to show you what I do sometimes. Don't want to something I made for my granddaughter. Where is the it's a 4x4. 4x4. So where's your okay, here's a DTF. Oh, I'll get this one. 5x7. Okay, 5x7. Why didn't it come out? Trying to find the one with the right extension on it and big. So this is a 5x7 DTF. It should show up. There you go. Okay. Here's a 5x7. Let me get a bigger hoop. Now, I can make a patch. Even though that's a 5x7, you don't want a big, huge patch. I don't want a 5x7 patch. You always have to go to your angles to size it. The other thing, you see the blue dot, and if you look hard enough, you'll see a little arrow, circular arrow. This is what you do to rotate. You can rotate your design with this little arrow. And then you can put it back the way you want it. You can make it fit. It's fitting my 8x9 hoop, and you can center it. Now, I want to make a patch out of this, but I don't want this big old giant design. So I take and I might be doing a very not so nice thing. Oh, that's a good thing. I just read what you said. Sean, you said you've heard about it and you have not used it because I make patches for motorcyclists and you try to keep it clean. You're leery due to the flammability. That perfectly makes sense. Makes plenty of sense with all that plastic. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, back to what I was doing. So I take my little thing here and I will shrink it down. And I'm looking at the size over here and I usually have it um, pretty much, where I think I want it to be, the size that I want it to be, um, before I shrink it down too much. Because sometimes you can go like this is like a half an inch. It's 5.4, 5.5 inches. So it's a half an inch wide and less than an inch tall. So it's small. It's been shrunk in half, 53%. They recommend that you don't shrink anything down or manipulate it beyond anywhere from 15 to 25%. So if you want to keep it clean. Now, Embrilliance is pretty good with the pool compensation and registration and all of that, even though you're manipulating your sizes and stuff. So I still have it less than an inch wide and a little bit more than an inch tall. Well, so I can make a patch out of this if I want to at this size. I go in here and I just hit my patch thing and I'll do a wraparound and that will be my patch. And the reason I did it, I wanted to show you this, is that I think I had mentioned to you guys that I have taken designs that were meant for 5x5 or 5x7 or maybe even a little larger, 4x4 design. And I've manipulated it in Embrilliance and have it small enough to make a patch and put on my shirt, jacket, or whatever. And my patches usually aren't any more than maybe 3x3, maybe 4 at the most. I don't have them like super big because I usually, if I'm not making multiple ones, I'll use my 5x5 mighty hoop and just make one patch, so it's going to be small enough to fit in that particular hoop. So it's not going to be the whole 5x5 inches. It's usually going to be closer to 4x4 or 3.5 or something along that line. So I just wanted to show you what you can do. You can just manipulate it down and have it whatever you want. Now see, if you make it bigger, that means you got to make your patch thing bigger as well. But that's what I like about patch artists. You can take any design that you have. At least I have been able to take any design that I have and I've made a patch out of it. I have taken designs that I have purchased, enlarged them enough to go on the back of a jacket, and have used that exact same design and manipulated enough to be small enough to make a patch. And they both stitched out perfectly. And I've done that all in Embrilliance. And with my 10 needle machine, because keep in mind the 10 needle machine has my design center software in it, and it also has features where it will maintain your stitch compensation as well if you're changing sizes. And I always check both of them. I'm not a digitizer, so I personally can't go in here and fix anything. I'm looking at all of these jump stitches in this design, which drives me to drink. See all these jump stitches? Now there is a way in Embrilliance using your stitch simulator that I've been shown how to get rid of these jump stitches. It is possible. It's tedious, but it is possible. I personally have not tried to do that. I do know you can do it. I saw a video where this young lady did it. She used the stitch simulator and she used Embrilliance and she put the points where they needed to be, and she actually went in and was able to delete a lot of these unnecessary jump stitches. So it can be done. Don't ask me how to do it because I've never done it. Um, um, when I saw her tutorial, I decided I was just gonna use my nipples and just cut them. I said, I ain't doing that. It's too much work. It is absolutely too much work for me. So, uh, and you all have questions. Ask me any questions that you want to ask. If I can answer, I will. If I don't know the answer, if there's anybody else on here that knows the answer, please do that. Please, please, please. Uh, I did do a comparison chart, and I'm looking for the comparison chart that compared enthusiasts to um, um, essential, because those are the main modules that I personally have recommended for people to use. The rest of them are just added for your own pleasure, like the patch artists and even stitch artists 1 and 2. They're not something that you have to have. They're not something that is required, but they are something that allows you to do more manipulation and stuff. So I'm trying to get to this comparison chart so I can do the comparison so you'll know what's the difference if you want both or if you just want one, or at least you know what to expect. Side by side comparison chart. Embrilliance essential compared to Embrilliance enthusiast. Merge multiple designs. You can do that with both. Resize with stitch recalculation. Most important, like I was moving all of this around, underneath all of the stuff that's going on in the computer, it is recalculating the stitches. Your stitches, if you look down here at the bottom, where you see my pointer here, you see that red. That means that this design is too big for the hoop. It tells you the stitches right now, 46,833 stitches, 15 colors. Now, if I manipulate it and make it smaller, it is now only 34,213 stitches. It's still 15 colors. Let me see if it can be color sorted. Uh, the design page has been sorted, but did not reduce the the amount of colors. So now, if I run the stitch simulator, because it's sorted, everything that's one color stitches, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. That's how the color sort works. And that really works well when you're doing like that boss lady one that I did. Uh, so I'm gonna see if that makes sense. So it definitely stitches in a different sequence, I guess, is what it is. See, all of the blues are together, the blacks, the reds, so forth and so on. They're all together, and that's going to be stitched. Uh, so for anybody that's sewing on a single needle machine or what have you, if you have the capability of doing the stitch simulator, that will work well for you. So enough of that. Enough of that. Okay. Maintain stitch composition in both. It's a lettering tool, which means you can manipulate your letters to a certain degree. You can make them bigger, smaller, and I'll show you some more things that you can do with the letters in a minute. You have your color management, which is over here. All of this is your color management and your property, where you can literally change the colors. This is the color palette that comes up. I use Floriani. So my Floriani comes up. You can do it by color. You can do it by name. You can do it by number. You can do the search. You can use different color palettes, all of that kind of stuff. But you can definitely manipulate. Um, they have Gooderman, Hemingworth, Issachar, Janome, Coates, Kingstar, Madeira, several Madeira, classic rayon, poly neon, all of that. There's a whole bunch of Madeira in here. Marathon, Metro, um, Polystar, Robinson, and Anton, Sim Thread, which a lot of people use off of Amazon, Sulky, Thread Art. I didn't see Candy. They don't have, I mean, Candle. They don't have, yes, they do. They have Candle in here as well. So it's a lot of different thread brands that are in here that you can set up as your palette. My palette is Floriani. So I always try to have that on there. So that's your color management. You can delete full objects and colors. So all of those things are things that you can do with both Embrilliance and Essential. Now you're getting to some things that are different. Delete individual stitched objects. You cannot do that with Essential. Reduce your jump stitches. You cannot do that with Essential. Add knockdown stitches, which is very important. You cannot do that with Essential. Control the density and underlay. You cannot do that with Essential. Fix poorly digitized design. It is limited because you can't do your compensation and density and all that stuff. And it is best for everyday embroidery. Yes, but enthusiast is more advanced. And is it a bestseller and problem solver? Somewhat, because like you can't fix poorly digitized designs very well. But it is idea with enthusiast. So that's the main difference. So essential gives you control, but enthusiast gives you correction power. So if you want more power to uh, edit your designs, I recommend that you add enthusiast. I think you're pretty um, well suited with everything that you need if you just have those two, essential and enthusiast. And Jenny, you say you don't have patch artists. Love to learn about it. Thank you, Miss Shirley. I love my patch artist. I'm so glad I got it. I've had it a couple of years, a little better, maybe close to 3 years. I've had it. And like I said, what I like about it is that it's intuitive with making patch because that's what it does. You get some fonts, you get some up here in your merge. In your merge, you get some designs. These are all patch designs that came with the, and this is an envelope as well. Heaven only knows. Let me get rid of right here. This is your envelope here. Why in heaven name did my that envelope did not work for me? I have no idea. I am so disappointed. It worked in there, but it I don't know. It just didn't work for some crazy reason. I have no idea why it didn't work, but it didn't work. I got to figure that out. But here's the different envelopes. I can take Jessica out if I can get to it down here. There you go. I can take, should be able to take Jessica out, put my name in it. There we go. There you go. See? There you go. There I am. I'm in here. I think it's just acting up, like I said, because it can. But anyway, that's it for that. Let's see what else is in here. Patch artists, you got ditties, different shields and stuff that you can use. Really cool patches you can make. And all of these are envelopes. And I'm going to have to look up again how to do the envelopes, because this is shoulder tags, all of that. So all of that stuff came with the software, and there's also fonts that come with the software. So let me see if I can get to my fonts right quick and get rid of that. Here we go. Okay, now all the different fonts. I have a boatload of fonts. You see how big that is? I can make it big, I can make it little. Always need to pull the handle, center it. Now, what else can I do with this font? Let me I can make it vertical. You see there? I can put it back. I don't want it vertical. I can make it, let me put it back on normal. I can make all kinds of different shapes with it. I can slant it that way. I can slant it this way. I can space it, tighten it up. I can I can curve it around. I can make it grow. I can make it peak. See how you can manipulate the letters? You can make them shrink. All of those things you can do. You can make a monogram out of it yourself. Just pick some of the letters. You can make it oval. See, all of these different choices. The other thing is I can make it round. Probably ain't big enough to make it round. Let me put in, keep forgetting. Okay, I can need to space it out. Click on this and bring it down. I can manipulate that how I want it. Then I can make it round if I can get it here. See how you can just make it all the way around? You can, let me space it out. That's a slant. There we go. There you go. Shirley's thread work. You can make that, and then you can put something, merge, and I can go up here and pick a design of some kind. See what I want to put up in here. Put there you go. Now I just created the design, just like that, quick and easy, no big deal. Those are just that's what makes me love Embrilliance. You can do so many things with it. Another thing that I'll do, like you can just pick one letter, as long as there's a binding box around that letter, I can change that letter. Then I can go in and hopefully get to I don't know the color. There we go. Get the letter. Get the letter. Now I gotta get that one. Oh crap. Okay, I know what I gotta do. I need to take all of the name out. Let me see if that gonna work. And I just want to put in, if I take all the name out, it's going to take them all away. I know that. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make that T a different letter. You do the first letter or whatever letter you want to change. You do that first, and then you put the rest of the wording in and add it on. That's how it's supposed to be done. Because if I take this, uh, it's gonna all go away. I know that. It's all gonna go away. Because I'm trying to, well, okay, I can copy that and paste it over here. That's one way of doing it. Where did it go? There it is. Now I can change, hopefully I can change this letter to, let me see if I want to, oh yeah, okay, here you go. No, that didn't work. Nope, that didn't work. I have to do it the right way. I was trying to cheat. It didn't work. But what I've done in the past, I have made my first letter something cute. Especially like one year I was making Christmas stockings, putting the names on the Christmas stockings. And what I did, I ended up doing the person's first name, and I have the Christmas fonts that has a little Santa hat sitting on top of it, and that was the first letter of the name, and I put that down, and I don't think I have that. I don't think I have that letter. I don't. I don't have that letter, but I can tell you what I did. And I put it down and I was able to. So, say for instance, I want Shirley. And I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to just put an S in here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that blaze. There you go. Now, the rest of the letters are going to be the rest of my name. I forgot to change it. So, where did my S go? My S went away. But you all get a gist of it. You get the gist of it. I have to mess with it some more. And but anyway, you put the first letter down however you want it, and then you go back and put the next one down the way you want it. Um, and it can be manipulated like that. So it's so much that you can do, so much you can do. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys tonight. Just want to make sure when you're doing the resizing of your design and everything, it does recalculate the stitch length, the density, the direction. It recalculates. That's what it does. And you always resize using the corner handles. Don't do it. And it keeps the aspect ratio locked, and the resize it in small increments, and then test stitch it out if you're doing a lot of manipulation. That's very important when you are manipulating the sizes of your designs different than what was the original. Always test stitch it out, because like I said, I manipulate my designs all the time. I never buy two and three different sizes of the same design. Maybe that's not a good thing, but that's just how I do it. I do not do that. I will buy one size, usually the largest size, because I'm usually doing something that is bigger than a 3 by 3 or a 4 by 4. So usually I will buy the largest size that they have, unless it's like really, really big and I know I'm not going that big. And then I just take it and manipulate it to the size that I really want to use it at in Embrilliance. And so far, I've been very lucky. I have not had any issues. Now, the only time that I will tell you that you possibly could have issues is when you're buying designs off of maybe Etsy, because you don't know the quality of the work. I buy most of my designs from I don't want to say, some of the bigger design houses. My letterings will come from Stitchtopia, designed by Juju. Um, um, what is it? I can't even think the name of it. It's several of them, but they're pretty well established. My designs, I buy them from Embroidery Library, Urban Threads, designed by Juju, um, Smart Needle, Embroidery Garden, Sweet Pea. I have a variety of places that I will buy designs from that I feel very comfortable. Creative Kiwi, Creative Applique. Those are places that I've bought designs from, and I've been very satisfied with the quality and the fact that I'm able to manipulate them and they work. Even if I'm, believe it or not, because I use my 10 needle machine, and because I use my mighty hoops 99% of the time, I my machine does not recognize aftermarket hoops like mighty hoop, durkey frames, and things like that. So you definitely have to trace. And I'm very leery. So there are times when I will, even if I'm doing an applique, even if I'm doing a bag, even if I'm doing um, a wall hanging, anything, if I think it is a little bit, a tad too big, I will go ahead in my machine and make sure I hit the sizing button, because it recalculates everything, and then I will change the size of it. I will make it a little smaller. I've also made them a little bigger, and they've stitched out perfectly, and they fit. If it's an applique, it fits. If it's a bag that I'm putting together, it fits. Everything fits because it will manipulate the entire design. And so if it's supposed to be a 8 by 13, I might get it down to a 7.5 by 12.5, because I'm coming down a little bit because I don't want to hit that side. And it works for me. Hi, Sean. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. You're probably having a hizzy fit when you heard me say how I manipulate my designs and stuff, because you're a digitizer and I'm not. But I have to tell you, it has worked for me. I've not had any issues with it, but that's because I do use Embrilliance and I do use my brother machine, and they have the built-in capacity to recalculate the designs where I don't know how to do that. But I do do a test simulator and a stitch out to make sure I've not completely ruined it. And I only mention that because I want people to know that it is possible if you pay attention to what you're doing, and you don't have to spend all of that money. I've seen people buy 3 and 4 sizes of the same design. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I think it's a waste of money, especially when they're charging you $4, $5, $6 for each design. Now, some people, like Design by Juju is a perfect example. She will give you 4 or 5 different sizes of her design in one purchase. That's perfectly fine. I love that. But then there's other design houses that I buy from that won't do that. Every design that they have, they charge you for each different size. So again, like I said, I don't do that. I resize my things with my Embrilliance software, and I've been very lucky, and it has worked out well for me. But I do want to emphasize again, um, check your work. Make sure don't put it on your final garment unless you know it's going to stitch out perfectly, because you may have messed it up. And we talked. Miss Joy asked me a question about this, how you save it and what they mean. Make sure if you're manipulating your designs, if you're creating whatever you're doing, if you're editing, that you save it in the BE format. That way, um, if it's all jacked up, you you can go back and fix it. It's not final. You can go back and fix it, and you haven't destroyed your design. And the other thing, save it in a different name from the original file that you just bought. If you bought a 4x4 design from Embroidery Library and you want to make it a 5x5, or whatever it is that you want to make it a 3x3, whatever. Make sure you save the original one as you bought it, and then manipulate and play with the new one and save it in your BE um, extension so you can keep playing with it. That way, you haven't messed up the original one. You can always go back to it, and you can still manipulate and play around with the one that you're trying to figure out if it's going to work well for you, size wise, and what have you. Because, like I said, I've showed you, I have made um, jacket back designs, big enough for a jacket back, and have used that exact same design and made a patch. So I've gone from here to here with the exact same design, and I've not had a problem. So just wanted to re-emphasize that. And Sean said, I agree 1,000%. Always do a test stitch, even if you make your own design. Yes, and always save your original design that you purchased, you paid money for, before you start messing it up. Because if you're a novice like I am, I'm not nowhere near, I'm not a digitizer. I do not know how to digitize anything. I do know how to edit my things, but as far as from scratch, digitizing, get a vector file and or SVG and all that kind of stuff, and no, I don't know how to do any of that, and probably won't ever know how to do it, even though I got tons of software to where I could do it with. I just haven't taken the time to learn how to do it. But I don't want anybody wasting their money and say, well, Shirley said you can do XYZ. Nope, don't put that off on Shirley. That is not what she said. She's telling you what she does and how it has worked for me. And also back to the software, I'm not telling you to go out and buy any software at all. Get what works for you, what you're comfortable with, what what works easy for you. If you're able, do your 30-day trial. And somebody on here mentioned that they had the 30-day embroidery express trial more than 30 days and it's still working for them. That's wonderful. Just keep in mind it is limited. If I'm not mistaken, you cannot save anything. You can play with it, you can stitch it out, you can do all that kind of stuff, but you can't save the file. So, you know, that's something that you have to, you know, decide that that's what you want to do. A lot of these more expensive softwares do give you a 30-day trial. When I bought my Hatch software, I did do the 30-day trial first before I bought it. Um, I have PE design. I didn't do a trial on that. I just bought it because it was something I wanted to learn how to do on it. Uh, But anyway, most of them have some type of 30-day trial that you can use, and just give it a try. Give it a try to see how that's going to work for you. So, Sean, the two Seans that hopped in, thank you both of you for coming on. And if you have anything to add, please do, because I do appreciate you guys' knowledge and your experience, and I know that you guys are successful in your business and stuff, and you've been working with designs and doing all kinds of stuff way longer than I have probably, and a lot more than I have because, like I said, I don't digitize and you guys do. You got anything to add? Please feel free to do that because you know me. I'm open for it. I love to share and I love to make sure that the information that I'm putting out here is correct. Don't want to put out anything that's wrong. Now, I'm looking at this. Hopefully, you can see where my mouse is. I just thought about what it was, pointing there. They couldn't think of the word mouse to save my neck. Now, this came with my Stitch Artist. And this is a create. I'm going to click on it. And you see all of these new icons that pop up. There's a whole bunch of them. And I have yet to play with any of them. I don't know um, exactly where to start, to be honest about it. I got Stitch Artist 1 and 2 because I ran across an opportunity to get them for a pretty good price. So I had been fluctuating back and forth whether or not I was going to get it and try it. And made up my mind, go girl, go ahead and get it. It ain't gonna hurt, you know. And so I did. And mainly because of the other modules of Embrilliance are so easy to learn. I figured if I'm going to learn anything about digitizing, perhaps I'll be able to do that with Embrilliance Stitch Artist. And the deal that I got, it made sense to do 1 and 2 and not just one or what have you. So I did the combination that included 1 and 2 for the price. Don't know if I'm going to do 3. Probably not, and if I do, it won't be anytime soon because I got to learn how to use 1 and 2 first and make some cute little things because I've seen people do stuff with it and it doesn't seem to be hard. It just requires practice, and practice makes perfect. And the more you practice, the better you get and the more you learn. So that's what I'm going to have to do after the holidays because right now I'm busy doing holiday stuff. And thank you, Ms. Joy, for reminding people to do a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. If you have not subscribed, please do. I know there's some new people on here. I do appreciate if you would subscribe, hit the notification bell, and If you like this video, go onto my channel page, put questions in there, comments, what have you. I have over 200 and some odd videos out there that covers a whole lot of stuff. I haven't done any tutorials this year, which I'm kind of embarrassed about. I just haven't done it. Um, and I got to get back to that because I do enjoy doing it. I just haven't done it. And Miss Joy, you said what you said to all who joined since I went back to organizing my craft room. Good, good, good. And all things Sean said, do the free trials first so you can choose the software that meets your need. Exactly. Especially, you want to see if this is something that is intuitive to you. Does it make sense? I was listening to a lady that was talking about Embrilliance, and she was talking about um, enthusiast, essential, and stitch artist. And she pretty much stated that if you learn one software, you can pretty much work with the other ones. And I agree with that to a degree. I agree with it to a degree. The icons and buttons are always going to be different, and that's what confuses people. They're going to do they're going to look different. They may do some of the same things, but they're going to look different. Kind of reminds me of a baby lock 10 needle and a brother 10 needle. They are almost identical, but the icons are different and they have different names, so they confuse you. But if you can get that part out of your head, you can do that IQ design. I took a class uh, on IQ design, but I used my brother, my design center software, and it did the exact same thing. The only difference was the names were different, the icons looked different, and they were in different places, but it did the exact same thing. So if you can understand that, then you can do it. That's pretty much the same, I think, to a degree with the software. Now, I have some dime software. I think I have three, at least three, maybe four. Those kind of confuse me. I have to be honest about it. I can piddle paddle through them and get some things done, but nowhere near the full extent of what they can do, which kind of, you know, I'm not happy about because they cost money. But I can figure out just like that little spiral thing that I had up here. Where is that? With my name. If I can find it again. Yeah, here it is. Ugh, why that thing keep moving? I should have. I don't want any of these. None of these. This was done with cut and stitch by dyeing. Um, well, actually, that's not true. I take that back. This was done in Embrilliance. Cut and Stitch by Dime was telling you how to make this with their software. And that was one of the selling points that they were using to sell their software. And I remember watching their live presentation, um, and I said, I think you can do that in Embrilliance because they said something about carousel. And I remember that there is a carousel function in Embrilliance. And sure enough, I was able to do this with Embrilliance. Um, Whereas they were selling the software, and I don't remember the name of the software because I have the cut and stitch, um, which I did, a design with them. Why is this? It's hard to do something when you got a shared screen, I tell you, because your computer don't want to act right. Not at all. It does not want to act right. I'm trying to get it to act like it got good sense, and it won't behave. This particular design I did. I can make it small. I don't know what size this design was, obviously, but this is the one I did with cut and stitch, and it's actually an applique where I use glitter vinyl. All of this opening here is where I put the glitter vinyl, and then the stitch down and everything. And the one missing letter here, the what is it? The I. I can't remember. It was rhinestone, I believe it was. It was rhinestone, and I did that with their particular design. I don't even know where the rhinestone is, but anyway, I did that, and it worked out fine. I followed their instructions and stuff, and I actually have a video on it, and it's funny, but I'll have to go back and look at my own video to be able to recreate this and do it again. So trust and believe. Sometime I look at my own stuff because I was like, I haven't done it in a while, so I forgot how to do it. But yeah, I have used that particular design came from another software. But as you can see, I could bring it into Embrilliance and probably be able to stitch it out. But I would have to add the rhinestone. This one, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I did this one in Brilliance or if I did it in um, that dime software, cut and stitch. I don't remember. I think I did it in Brilliance because I know I had these letterings and stuff like that. And this is a perfect example of a design that you would want to do the color sorting with. And let me see if I did do the color sort when I created this. I think I did. Yep, I did. So you can see you do all your colors first, which makes it so much easier. Then you go back. Yeah, that's what I did. Did all the color sort. So the color sorting does work really, really well. Now in Stitch Artist 1 or 2 or whichever one, you can actually do the top stitch on it. I bought a design for top stitch, and now I know since I have those software um, components, I can actually do the top stitch. So I'm glad of that. I don't know what that blue is for. I have no idea. I think that was something, I don't know what that's for. Whatever it was for, it doesn't look like it was necessary. That's weird. Did not know what that was for. Yeah. I think I did that one in cut and stitch. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one I did, but that just gives you a sample of what the color sort how that works. So let me. There we go. So that was everything that I wanted to show you, tell you, talk to you about Embrilliance, and tell you, like I said, how and why I love Embrilliance. Not trying to get anybody to use it, but I do know that there have been some people asking how you do this and how you do that. And the simplicity of some of the things that you can do with Embrilliance makes it an ideal software. Um, there may be some other that are even easier to use. I don't know. But for me, that has been my go to. And I have tried other softwares. Like I said, I've tried two or three different dime softwares, and I don't use them that much. And maybe if I use them more, I would be able to use them better. But the interface and icons and what it does and the sequences and all that kind of stuff for me is not really intuitive, and I think that's what happens. And Sean, you were saying that the foundation will be the same, but the tools will be in different places in each software. Yes, that's what um, that's the thing. And Carol, you're saying that there's tons of education within Brilliance too. And it is. There's a lot of different, in Brilliance itself, the company has a lot of videos. So if you go onto their website, and on the first or second page, I can't remember exactly where it is, they do have resources on there, and you can just go into the resource and come up with all kinds of different videos and stuff on YouTube. Also, the manual is on there, the electronic digital manual, so you can click on whatever question that you may have and bring that segment of the manual up and read it and see how to do stuff. You can download it to your desktop, your computer, laptop, and then you can access it that way. So you can have the manual. It's over 200 and some odd pages. So I don't know if anybody wants to print it out, but that's an option. You can get it printed and laminated or bind or whatever you want to do and have it where you have access to it. And just reading some of the comments, Miss Joy was saying, "Thank you so much for sharing your craft. I've been listening while I've been cleaning." I know how that goes. A lot of people do that. And Miss Joy said, "One thing for sure, we're never too old to learn, and there's always something new to learn." And that part is true. And I have to tell you, that's another reason why I do what I do, because I'm at the age where I'm not trying to sit around and do nothing and let cobwebs grow in my brain. So if I keep pushing myself, and Sean was saying Lisa Shaw as well has a lot of videos, and you learn from her. She does, and somebody mentioned they didn't like listening to her. I listened to Lisa, and I've seen several of her videos, and she is somebody that you can kind of depend upon to get a lot of the basics. And she teaches stitch artists and stuff like that. So now I can look at even more of her videos now, because a lot of times I would look at something and she'll be going into stitch artists and stuff, and I'm like, I ain't got stitch artists, so this is not going to be beneficial to me. So now I can do that. And I have found since I got stitch artists, there are a lot of people out here that teaches stitch artists. So that part I'm very happy about. So hopefully the next time I talk about Embrilliance to you guys sometime next year, I guess, I'll be able to tell you what I've learned from stitch artists and what I've been able to make and create, because I do a little with my editing. I will merge, I will delete, I will add all that kind of stuff And of course, I manipulate sizes and stuff. And I do a lot of different stuff with my letterings, like I showed you with the slanting and the vertical and, all of that kind of stuff. I do those kinds of things. So make everything unique and make it your own. Oh, Sean says she took her class in person. That's cool. And then Carol said, "Oh yeah, why do we always forget about the manual?" I have to tell you, I don't forget about manuals, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you look at some of my earlier videos, I'm always stressing and kind of fussing about people not looking in their manual when it comes down to the machine. Even to this day, I've talked to people that have called me up and asked me how to do this, that, and the other. And one of the first things I'll ask them is, have you looked in your manual? Because how did I learn how to do XYZ? Pretty much looked in my manual, either my playbook or my manual. Those were the go-to. Then I may go to YouTube or something like that. But I always look it up and see, okay, what are they saying that you're supposed to be doing and how it's supposed to be done. Now, the one thing I will admit about manuals, they are not written in a very easy to understand English. And I do not know why, because sometimes you look at it and you're like, what are you talking about? Why can't you just say this in plain English and explain what it is you're trying to tell me? Oh, Miss Joyce says she has learned from Lisa in person as well. Applique Getaway is the way to go. That's good. I've not done her in person. I would love to do that, but I haven't had the opportunity yet um, to do that. So anyway, well, I am going to get off of here because I am just now looking at the clock. I am just now paying attention to the time, and I got to go to work in the morning. And I just realized that I've been on here going on 3 hours, not 2 hours, talking about Embrilliance and all of that kind of stuff. So I do appreciate you guys and for hanging in there with me. Hopefully you all got something out of it. Hopefully you learned a little bit. Hopefully, if nothing else, you've taken away any kind of fear of using the software and trying to figure it out. And just like I said, don't save it. If you haven't saved anything, then you haven't messed it up. And Sean, all things Sean said, you purchased the Hatch manual from Amazon. It comes in handy. Okay. I have Hatch. Um, was it cheaper than printing it off and printing it off and getting it laminated? I don't know, because if I'm not mistaken, don't we have the Hatch on our computers or in our software somewhere? I'm gonna have to look that up because I haven't looked at the Hatch manual in a while. It's been a minute because I bought Hatch about 4 years ago, and they have some beautiful designs in there that I keep forgetting to go back in there and look and use. So that's the other thing. You have all these different softwares and stuff that come with their own designs, and we never go in there and pull those designs out and use them. We're constantly buying design, and not remembering what we have, number one, and number two, um, going back and using them. Now, um, we have a reveal coming up maybe next week. I have to get with everybody tomorrow night and find out when we're going to do our reveal. We did Advent calendar, so I got to find out from everybody when we're ready to do the reveal. I'm done with my Advent calendar, y'all. And because the holiday is coming and I'm going out of town. So the 22nd is because I think the 23rd is on a Wednesday, I believe, and that's when I'm leaving town. So 22nd, I don't know if I'll be on or not. I have to look at the calendar and see how things are going to roll. But I will get with you guys and let you know next week how we're going to flow for the rest of the year. And then we'll go from there. So hopefully, I'll see everybody that's part of the Social Society crew tomorrow night. And everybody else, hopefully, I will see you guys next week. And like I said, I was just running my mouth and forgot how late it was. So I will talk to all of you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Thumbs up, um, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you guys have a wonderfully blessed the rest of your week. Take care. Bye bye.